Good afternoon, racing fans, and welcome in for day two of the 2020 Grand Circuit Meet here at the Red Mile. 13 races this afternoon. Live racing kicks off at the top of the hour at 1 p.m. We'll go through your changes and programming notes in a couple of moments. At this time, we'd ask you to please rise as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. And once again, good afternoon. Welcome in for a beautiful Saturday here at the historic Red Mile in downtown Lexington, Kentucky. Beautiful Saturday afternoon. Will be in the low 60s for the 13 race program. And if you do have your racing programs, we'll go through your changes and programming notes. Not much to report today. The first race clear, race 2 clear as well. That kicks off your 50-cent pick 5. Third race also clear, no changes, race 3. Races 4, 5, 6 clear. 7th race clear as well. That'll kick off your $10,000 guaranteed pick 4 with a 15% takeout. No changes in the 7th race. No changes in the pick 4 sequence. Races 8, 9, 10 clear as well. 11th race kicks off the late pick 3. No changes, race 11. The changes today come in the late double. In the 12th race, scratch 6, Frontier Muffler. Once again, this afternoon's 12th race, take out the 6 Frontier Muffler. 13th and final race, we do offer super high 5 wager. Bring scratch 7 Avant Garde. Again, the 7 has been scratched and withdrawn in this afternoon's 13th and final race. And again, good afternoon. Welcome in day 2 of the Grand Circuit Meet. I'm Gabe Pruitt. As always, I'm pleased to be joined with my good friend and partner, Dave Brower. Welcome, Dave.
Thank you very much, Gabe. I'm excited. We had a really good first day. And happy Preakness Day to all the fans out there of both breeds. You'll be able to watch the Preakness probably on NBC a little bit later on, hearing our good friend Larry Colmus call that race. But we've got a big 13-race card on tap here. The weather report is always the most important thing, I think, that we give at the top of the show. When we walked out the door of the hotel this morning, yes, it was a little bit chilly, but it is beautiful right now. It's a crisp, cool, but maybe a couple degrees warmer. You just looked it up on Weather Channel. What's the temperature?
63, actually, at the moment. Looks like we'll top out right around there, maybe 64 or so, but it is a perfect day. It's a little warmer than it was yesterday. Our worry for the weather could be tomorrow.
Yes, it could. It is changing by the moment, though, and they continue to push the level of precipitation and rain towards the latter part of the day. Now, you know me, I want to get all those interviews with the winning connections as possible. If it's downpouring, we might not be able to do that, but if it's sprinkling, I'm going to put a hat on. Last year's futurity hat.
You could try on a downpour.
Well, I could, but I won't be able to carry that umbrella across the track. That's no good for the horses out there.
Let's hope it holds out. And again, today couldn't be any better. If you're in the area, by the way, you come on out to the track and join us, Dave. This week, not a problem at all. We can have up to 500 fans. We've had several people call and reach out. I think you're fine. If you're in the area, come on out today or tomorrow for that matter. Obviously, we should have several more people in town next week, so that's when you want to certainly make a reservation and get your name on the will call list. Again, we can have 500 fans total here on site.
And Clubhouse Dining is open, so if we want to make a reservation for that. And you and I were both told earlier that the food is tremendous. tremendous so far this year. You and I are working all day, so we can't experience that. But anybody that gets the opportunity to go on in there and visit the Clubhouse restaurant, it's one of the best places to hole up here at the Red Mile and watch. Call Bessie at the switchboard, and she can give you more information and put you on the list. Now, great day of racing yesterday, Friday, to kick off the Grand Circuit meet. 5 bluegrass divisions, and I thought we saw a couple of real superstars in action, starting with Dancing in the Dark for Tim Tetrick and Marcus Melander.
Dancing in the Dark, he bounced back to the type of effort we knew he was capable of, Dave. That was very similar to that first start in Lexington, where he just trotted away under wraps in 52 and change. He had that exact same look to him yesterday. Great to see. That was a good field, but Dancing in the Dark really impressed me.
He did, and the final time was a pretty quick mile there, 1:52.2, again for that team of the Bionic Man and Marcus Melander. We spoke to Tim in the winner's circle afterwards, and he had pretty high praise for the colt. A little bit hot still, and they'll work on that as he continues to mature. Over the course of the card yesterday, we had 11 races, 10 new lifetime marks. That doesn't surprise you, though.
It didn't surprise me with a lot of young horses, mainly 2-year-olds on that card yesterday. But, of course, as soon as we pointed it out and noted, we ended the streak.
The last race of the day. But we both picked a winner. And, it paid a pretty nice super high five. We're going to talk about the betting in just a moment.
That was a very incredible super high five. The favorite on top there, it's not the morning line favorite, but I think ended up 3-2 favorite the last race yesterday afternoon. And the super high five with the favorite winning, over $1,200.
I know, so that's good value. We'll get to that. Joe Bongiorno started the card with a winner and ended the card with a winner. So thanks to Chris Tully for that stat as well. The other absolutely amazing performance yesterday was turned in by a pacing filly. Her name is Test of Faith. 150-3 for Dave Miller and Brett Pelling. Got to talk to Dave a little bit last night after the races here, and boy, I'll tell you what, he sounded excited about this filly's future.
As he should be, because she has been incredible. I think we discussed it yesterday at the outset on the pregame show. She was the most impressive stakes winner going back to that blockbuster night we had at Hoosier Park last week. And then yesterday, I think the same. She's just so incredible. Unfortunately, not Breeders' Crown eligible. So it sounds like the Test of Faith, her last start of the season, will be right here in Lexington next weekend.
Right, next weekend, hopefully we'll, get her, put her, let her win again, put her on the shelf and bring her back next year. Nobody does that than trainer Brett Pelling. And when I got to talk to some of those connections afterwards, boy, did they sound excited about the future.
Yeah, as they should be. Again, that filly just completely wrapped up. Really was almost like a replay of a race at Hoosier Park. She was just first up, coasted away under no urging whatsoever. I couldn't have been more impressed.
Yeah, neither could I. And I spoke to Scott Zeron, who had the lead and was rating kindly up front. I said, Scott, I thought you had that one stolen. He said, yeah, I did too, until that filly ranged up alongside me and then just sailed right on by. So she looks great. Great future for her. And again, hopefully she'll be in the entry box for next weekend.
Next Friday. And yes, it was effortless. Looking forward to seeing her. We've got several we're looking forward to seeing today as well.
Yes, 13 race card here, 7 divisions of the Bluegrass Series. And today we feature the 2-year-old pacing fillies, the 2-year-old trotting fillies, and of course the freshman pacing colts here. I had a couple people tweet me. They're looking forward to one of these pacing colts going in under 150 today. I don't know. It's possible, but it's still a little bit chilly. But there's no breeze out there like there was yesterday, so that will definitely help the times. And you and I both looked at the track. It looks great.
Looks fantastic, and they could shoot at that world record. 149 flat for a 2-year-old pacing colt. Of course, Elmer Hanover was 48-3 as a gelding. So that world record, who knows? We'll have several divisions of that today. And one colt that we know could be shooting in that direction, Dave, is Perfect Sting.
If we had a big star yesterday, we're going to be looking at another incredible star today on the pacing front. Perfect Sting in race number 10, his division of the Bluegrass, for a purse of over $120,000. Simply put, he is unbeaten, 6 for 6 for his trainer, Joe Holloway. He comes to us from the Brittany Farms, Val Dior Farms. They bred the son of Always Be Mickey out of She Be Stingin'. That is an immaculate pedigree by a champion, out of a champion, and he's looked the part so far. And when I got to talk to Joe the other day when he was training, he told me the horse is still learning. So he doesn't even have it all figured out yet, but he's overcome anything that's been thrown his way. And tonight, maybe an outside post. He'll start from post 7. We'll see if that makes a difference.
Yeah, he's got enough figured out, I think, to make it a long day for the rest of these colts, perhaps. Perfect Sting's been so good. As you mentioned, by a world champion, from a world champion. And Dave Miller, the pilot, he drove
He did.
Always Be Mickey, and he's driven, of course, She Be Stinging to that world record performance as well.
Yeah, he drove Mom, he drove Dad. I got to speak to his caretaker, Diane Lewis, this morning at the Coffee and Donuts on the deck. Thank you to the Kentucky Harness Horsemen's Association for that. And she was quietly confident, although, you know, all caretakers get a little bit nervous on big days like that. I said, this is a big day for you. She said, yeah, I've got a race too. I said, well, who's the other one? She told me. She's in the 8th race and the 10th race. So we will wait with bated breath for that performance this afternoon. And hopefully he will continue to maintain that unbeaten streak.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to see him. Obviously, there's a few good divisions of that today, but Perfect Sting going to be one of the stars in action today, and I'm sure a single on a lot of people's pick 4 there as it will close out that sequence.
Now, speaking of betting, we want to remind everybody about the wagering format that we have in action here at the Red Mile. We're going to, continue to remind you for the first couple days of the meet here. We have a 50-cent pick 5 that starts in race number 2 with the carryover possibility and the low takeout.
15%, and that pick 4 has also been reduced to 15%. That is going to be daily on the 7th race. $1 minimum to pick 4. The good news is, Dave, when you hold that $1 minimum, yes, you may not capture as many winners or as many winning tickets as you would if the minimum was lower, but when you do connect, you get rewarded. We had that one upsetter in the first leg yesterday. In total, with just 3 tickets out of the pick 4, over $3,100 per ticket here. So it was a huge payout on opening day.
Then that's your kind of ticket. We know that. You're busy working up there in the booth. Probably don't make that many bets here, do you?
I still time to wager from time to time.
That's what we like to
That was
hear.
not me yesterday.
I know. I'm in the box today, though. I got a couple winners, I hope, as well.
You spent a good time in front of that window before we went on air today.
Well, because I don't use those tote machines. It's a different company. I'm not used to where all the buttons are. And, of course, the last race, 20-cent super high 5. That's also known as a pentafecta. Carryover possibilities, again, the favorite one, like we said, and it's still paid pretty good. In the realm of all of harness racing as well, it's not only a big day here at the Red Mile on the Grand Circuit, but up at Dayton, boy, they've got some nice races tonight.
A couple of hours up the roads, you'll see a lot of the driving colony. Once they're done with us here this afternoon, they will dart up to Dayton for some of that stakes action. Should be a huge night. Look forward to enjoying that a bit later on.
I know. I wrote down, Sharton and Kissing in the Sand and Caviar Alley will renew their rivalry. They've been going at it for a couple of years now. Atlanta and Manchego, again, taking on the boys as well. Better's Wish against Dance and Lou, and This Is the Plan. So lots of good races up there, and very interesting supplemental entry in that Dayton Pacing Derby, the very impressive Dan Noble trained Ocean Rock.
Yeah, I've had a chance to see him in person pretty much all summer long throughout the course of the stakes season at Saturday. He is an impressive 3-year-old. Now, is it ever an easy task for a 3-year-old to step up and take on older? No, but this colt deserves a shot, and I think it adds a lot of intrigue to that race tonight as well.
It does, and it'll be very interesting to see how Dan Noble decides to race him. I mean, he's been such a prohibitive favorite throughout his season in Ohio that, you pretty much have to put him on the point, but he may opt for a different strategy tonight. You and I will be watching that race from an undisclosed location later this evening, along with the Meadowlands action. Hey, don't forget, we're going to have interviews throughout the day to keep you entertained, some winning connections as well. And we've got some special guests on hand today. We are going to be joined by State Senator and Majority Leader Senator Damon Thayer.
Senator Thayer, always good to have him with us here at the Red Mile. Senator Thayer is typically out a few times per season. He is a big fan not only of thoroughbred racing, but harness racing as well. He's been instrumental in revitalizing the industry here in the state, so it's always great to see Senator Thayer out of the races.
Yeah, I did some research. Hopefully we'll get to talk to him about everything that's going on, how Kentucky has handled the COVID situation, his prior experience in the racing business. He did have a couple of jobs before becoming a state senator as well. So we're looking forward to what should be a very, very fine day this afternoon. The racing action will be tremendous, and we'll see who ends up taking home the majority of these big purse bluegrass divisions.
Yes, we get to 7 stakes on the 13 race card today. Without further ado, Dave, I suppose we could dive into our handicapping selections here as we get set for the Saturday afternoon program. We've got trotters at the opener, non-winners of 1 race's lifetime here. Some horses that are still learning, Dave. There's a couple of project-type horses in here. I'm going to go for one of those. The 4 Ava Catherine is my top selection. Recently added trotting cobbles, but she moved over to trainer Tony Alania's barn. Qualifier here, very good. Home 27-1, trotted 52-2. Lightly raced, 3-year-old daughter of Muscle Hill. It's just her 3rd start here this afternoon.
Yeah, she is a project horse, but she's got that great pedigree as well, being a daughter of Muscle Hill. You can never discount that out. And if there's anybody that I have the ultimate faith in right now to figure out a horse with ability that may be immature, it's Mr. Alanya. He's having such an incredible season here, and he's got a boatload of good horses over in that barn. And eventually, Ava Catherine might be one of them.
And he won the first couple of races on yesterday's program as well. So we'll see if Tony can get off to a hot start here this afternoon. You and I both on board there with the 4 Ava Catherine as we kick off this afternoon's action. That's now just 14 minutes away. Second race, it's their first of 4 divisions day for the 2-year-old trotting fillies. The Norman Woolworth Memorial, $87,000 on the line to kick off that 50-cent pick 5. We're in agreement again, Dave. Lady Chaos, you remember you and I sat on a set one night at the Meadowlands there in late July. She won very convincingly as a huge favorite. That was her second career start. She beat a nice filly there, too, in Darlene Hanover. But we knew this filly had a lot of ability early on. She has proven it. She steps up off a huge stakes win here last week.
In big upset fashion, too. She was 6-1. Now, Dave Miller had a monster Kentucky Sire Stakes final day here a couple of Sundays ago, and he looks like he's sitting on a big day today. Just watch for her in the post parade and the score down. She can tend to get it a little bit hot. Trainer Linda Toscano, Hall of Fame trainer, has been trying to work on that.
Yeah, and she has plenty of ability. Of course, she was a runner-up the Peaceful Way there as well in the prior start north of the border. But Lady Chaos, likely the favorite in my opinion in race 2. We'll see how that shakes out. Third race, we've got the first of 3 divisions for the freshman pacing colts here. It's a Stay Hungry, Dave. Over $119,000 on the line. How'd you land in the third?
This was a wide-open event. Now, trainer Ron Burke, who's always here for the Bluegrass, remember you mentioned about his big winner last year with Elver Hanover, but I'm going to take a swing here. We've been very intrigued by 1-800. He's the colt by Some Beach Somewhere that cost $800,000. That's where the name came from. Got a little bit sick a couple of weeks ago at the Meadowlands, so I'm looking forward to him to getting healthy out here for trainer Nancy Tactor. I went 3-4-1-7 in there.
I'm going to go a little different direction. It wouldn't shock me to see 1-800 step up. I think he is a colt with a lot of upside potential, as you mentioned. But the colt in here with the true stakes credentials, in my mind, Dave, is the one loose Pearl Man. He comes off that runner-up performance there in Delaware. But take a look at who he's been tackling lately. Chase H. Hanover, Southwind Gendry, a Buckabed Hanover. He's just been hooking up with such a tough crew there on that Pennsylvania Sire Stakes circuit. Ron Burke, the trader, of course, for this Sweet Lou. So I think his resume is favorable here today.
And he's got the rail. So that's going to be a big part of Matt Kikali's game plan. He's been good right from the get-go, so we'll see if he can finally get that back into the winner's circle.
We switch back to the trot for this afternoon's 4th race, Dave, and we switch back to Overnight Company. We're going to have a big favorite here off the inside. One, Julia C. Going to be a very short price here in my mind, 1 to 5 type range. Do you have any concerns today after the break in stride last
I
out?
do. Well, you always have concerns about the break here, but trainer Per Ungblom will figure that out. This is a daughter of my MVP, so we know that means the Fair Island Farm is involved. That's Art Zubrod and his wife. So Julia C., if she trots, she will win, and we'll have to key in on some gimmicks a little bit later on.
We will. We might have to try an ice-cold number or 2 there in that 4th race. She's
you allowed to say that, ice cold?
Absolutely.
All right. That's what I like to
Absolutely.
say.
The 5th race, we're back to stakes action there. 2-year-old trotting fillies once more for this Norman Woolworth Memorial Division. The 2 iteration, talk about pedigree, Dave. This is a full sister to Jim Panzee, and she was very impressive last week at Hoosier Park. Also in that New York Sire Stakes final, she made a break at the start of that race, Dave. She lost 8 or 10 lengths. She made it all up and got the win.
It was absolutely incredible to watch that race here, and I feel that her future is going to be on the bigger size track anyway. You saw that up at Hoosier last time, but this is a real good field. Now, Andy and Julie Miller, they've had like a hammerlock on this one. They won last year with Love a Good Story in 52-2. Julie Miller, by the way, sitting on the cusp of a major milestone. She has 1,986 career wins, so 2,000 coming up next for her. I've watched Pub Crawl since her first baby race. She's good, but I'm going to take a shot with Team Svanstedt in here. Flawless Country. You talk about a horse that's getting better and better and better, which is normal for the Svanstedt barn at this time. She's got 4 wins in a row here through Pennsylvania. She belongs here. She could be just fine.
Daughter Southwind Frank, I believe Svanstedt won with a son of Southwind Frank, delayed Hanover.
That was delayed Hanover, another star of the afternoon yesterday. Got to talk to Oka about that one, and I could see the smile on his face, I think, underneath that mask.
Especially after the inquiry came down. Maybe at
thank
first
God,
there was a little anxious moment there, but Flawless Country has ripped off 4 in a row after beginning her career with 2 narrow defeats. I'd like a little bit of a price underneath there, Dave. Got to give a little look to the outside here to the 7 Easy Pass. Those are real stakes company that she's been hooking up with here, the local Kentucky Sire Stakes, right behind Lady Chaos here last time. She missed a neck 2-back, so I think maybe a live long shot to using the exotics.
Yes, she races for a great bunch of guys, too, longtime supporters of the sport, Mel Hartman, Dave McDuffie, and, of course, Adam Bowden, Diamond Creek Racing. She was not a cheap purchase, though. She cost $200,000. $200,000 for her trainer, Nifty Norman, but she's working on making it back.
Sixth race closes out the pick 5. We'll move on through here as we try and catch up. I'm going to go to the two Panthers. Pinot, bit of a project horse here, like the local qualifier.
I'm going to take one of the Ohio shippers, WFE, or Yannick Gingras gets the assignment in there. Wasn't Dave Miller's choice, but will be mine.
Seventh race kicks off the pick 4, $10,000. A guaranteed pool there. It's 6. Beautiful game for me. She's been knocking on the door of late with all of those stakes arrivals. She's hit the board 7 of 8 to begin her career.
You know, Dexter Dunn had a choice in there. He stuck with Aunt Irene with that immaculate pedigree out of Solveig, and if you watched her last start at the Meadowlands, she was airborne through the stretch.
And important to note there, again, a filly with a huge pedigree, very powerful there in race 7. Eighth race, 2-year-old pacing colts outside to me, Southwind Gendry. Here's another talented son of Always Be Mickey. Southwind Gendry, I just did not think he was going to get there really at any point in the stretch last week at Hoosier Park. But he refused to lose, Dave. He just kept coming. Post 9, of course, will be the trouble this afternoon.
That's the problem. He's going to have to, go the overland route once again. He certainly has the talent to do it. He's a gelding already, too, by Always Be Mickey for the Burke Racing Stable, Phil Calora, Knox Services, Jerry, and Teresa Silva, Purnell, and Libby.
A very talented colt. He has not lost when he has stayed pacing. His only 2 losses, both breaks in a stride. Ninth race, more stakes action. 2-year-old trotting fillies once more. Darlene Hanover, maybe just a tick disappointing here in the Kentucky Sire Stakes final day, but I'm going to go with her to rebound this afternoon.
This is a great spot for her, the Jim Doherty Memorial winner. She's been super for trainer Brett Biddle all along here. She's not too easy to get along with in the barn. Got to see her a couple of days ago, but this is the perfect spot for her. The only thing we need to watch for is how Andy McCarthy decides to race her.
Yeah, I agree. And the Jim Doherty Memorial winner, we all remember that sensational effort from Hamiltonian Day as well. 10th race closes out that pick 4. Who do you like behind Perfect Sting?
How about number 4, Always a Mickey? Maybe a little bit of a price there. Nobody's going to beat Perfect Sting in here. Yeah, and it will be, it's a tactical race for the drivers to try to figure out a way to follow him.
Everyone will be trying to look for that perfect trip behind the undefeated favorite in today's 10th race. 11th race kicks off the late pick 3. Always Be Cool. Going to be a large favorite there in the 11th, Dave. Do you think there's any chance of beat again?
I took a shot with Barefoot and Pregnant, Jim Averett again, one of his homebreds. Randy Gerald's going to get the assignment here. I like the speed this one showed. Speed tightened. It's follow trip today.
I know that's one of your favorite angles, so certainly worth noting there in the 11th race. 12th race will kick off the late double. If you're just to it again, a scratch 6 Frontier Muffler, so we're down to a field of 7. It's the 4 Gray Dragon for me. I've watched this guy all season long at Ohio, Dave, Ocean Rock, Elver Hanover. He's just been tackling some very tough company there. I think it's a much softer spot for him here today.
It is. Joe Bongiorno going to get that assignment. I'm going to go with Captain Video. I get a little help with that scratch here. He's just getting, I guess, more confidence along the way. Captain Video for the Alanya Armada for me.
He really is. He's gotten better and better. It's great to see. 13th race to close it out this afternoon. Super high 5. Wagerberg in the nightcap. Avant-Garde, the 7 is out. Again, note the 7 out. We're down to a field of 9. I'm going to look for the one impressive hill to rebound here. Dwayne Miner, the Treader driver, unfortunately picked a bad time to make a break in stride in that Kentucky Sire Stakes final, but she won a leg of the Sire Stakes in the previous start. She's a filly that does have some talent.
She does, and she was 3-1 in that final, so the bettors were on board here. Dwayne's going to hop back in the sulky seat. He's going to try to beat her with 4 Spring Dreams here. Bunch of tough trips, used hards, and things like that. I think Scott Zeron will be the perfect fit back aboard for the 4th or 5th time.
Should be another fun day, Dave, tomorrow as well. We've got nearly every top 3-year-old in the sport right here tomorrow as part of a 15-race wagering card. We've actually got 2 races early that are non-wagering, so if you're in the area, 12:15, we run the 2 non-betting races. Then, of course, we'll go on with the pregame show, and we'll be set for 15 at 1 p.m.
We'll have lots to talk about there. 12 straight stakes races sprinkled through the middle of the card, so I'll be busy.
It's going to be a huge day. It's going to be a huge day today as well. Sit back, enjoy all the action, and we wish you the best of luck with your selections here this afternoon.
Best Bet Stables owners Eric Cherry and Dana Parham are excited to offer the harness racing industry impeccably bred weanlings and yearlings with a whole new concept on selling. All foals are for sale. Best Bet Stables is breeding some of the best bloodlines in harness racing. Their new satisfaction guaranteed concept to selling offers assurance that you are purchasing quality. Let Best Bet Stables be your best bet for success.
Our passion and our promise to breed the best and sell the best so you can race the best. Crawford Farms, home to this year's 2020 Hamiltonian filly champion Ramona Hill.
Andrew McCarthy finds today. Ramona! Oh, Ramona Hill takes the Hamiltonian.
And over 100 more stakes-winning broodmares, racehorses, and retirees. They call it the Sport of Kings. We call it the love of champions. From our farm to the winner's circle, share our passion. Crawford Farms.
This is the tale of Father Patrick, the standard bearer of a proud lineage, with a legacy of victory and glory all his own. His legend continues to grow.
Father Patrick in control. He does it again. He wins by 2.5 lengths.
Father Patrick with a Breeders' Crown.
Be a part of the legend of Father Patrick, now at Diamond Creek Farm.
Trotters on the track for this afternoon's first race. There are no changes. Kicks off the early double. It's the My MVP. Kentucky Futurity Champion, My MVP, stayed in the Buckeye State. This one sponsored by Alanya Racing. What is Billy Clare, Jonas Sirtis and trains? Todd McCarthy drives for the Constance Racing Stable and the IDES Stable Incorporated. Number 2 is Fortune Telling Lady. Rick Zeron trains for the Rick Zeron Stables. Cool Cat Racing. Jeffrey Rook and Dean Lockhart's got Zeron between the wheels. 3 is Year of the Bride. Charlie Norris trains and drives for Gary Norris, G&B Racing. Number 4 is Ava Catherine. Tony Alanya trains for Crawford Farms Racing, Andy Miller. 5 is Munster. Per Ingblom trains, Jadek Jingrab for Black Horse Racing and the Wiseman Farms LLC. Number 6, Confidant. Tony Alanya trains, Joe Bongiorno board for the Brittany Farms and Riverview Racing. And 7 is Light Blue Movers. Oka Svanstedt, the trainer driver for Howard and Judith Taylor in the order by stable. That is the field for the first race. No changes here as we get set to kick off the early double.
Race 1, Red Mile, Saturday afternoon, and what a beautiful day it is in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, specifically downtown Lexington. And we've got trotters on the track here for the first race, basically a maiden event here, field of 7. And while watching that post-parade, Gabe Pruitt, I got some real bad news looking at, I think, both of our picks. Number 4, Ava Catherine, she didn't look like she wanted to hit a trot. That's not good.
And the worst news, Dave, the news hasn't gotten any better. She's right now over around the quarter pole, the backstretch. And yes, I think your observation is correct there. She just has not hit the trot just yet. It's 6-5. I think I may have to call it audible.
Yeah, well, exactly. You know, we're public handicappers, so we do our picks usually days in advance here. But we always try to give you all the information, and we want you to make a pretty good decision. Like you said, she's 6-5. There she is on the screen right now. She's not going to be 6-5 too much longer if this continues.
Yes, I agree. Then we will keep our eyes on her as she continues to score down, but all sorts of trouble so far on the track for
there she goes.
The current favorite, Ava.
Well,
there she goes again.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, that'll be up to Andy Miller. You know, he does have the final call on whether or not she will go behind the gate. And the judges are watching, and so are the veterinarians as well. So let's talk about a couple of the other ones in there. Number 2, Fortune Telling Lady for the father-son team of Rick and Scott Zeron here. Acclimated to the track, that's for sure, but I see 1 for 16 lifetime, and that's why I couldn't put her on top.
That is the trouble. I think the win resume is a little light. I think she has been deceptively good even. Locally, there was a good third there last time at the Commonwealth Final Day. Molto Bette's a nice filly. We saw What a Yankee spring a big upset here yesterday afternoon, the runner-up finisher there. 2 starts back, she was on that track that you just could not hold on. If you had the lead, that caught up with her. She flattened out late down the stretch, so I'm not going to hold that against her. I think Fortune Telling Lady, certainly a filly that could make some noise.
On the screen right now is Oka Svanstedt with number 7 Light Blue Movers. And here's a little update for everybody. We've got a mixed sale here in Lexington after the yearling sale. And Light Blue Movers, Gabe, is hip 900. So if you like what you see today, go on out and buy them.
And that is an angle that I like wagering-wise as well, Dave. We see it pay off many, many times up at the Big M over the years. When those mixed sales come up, I always like to know who is in that sales catalog. I think that's an important note. Light Blue Movers recently moved over to Trader Oka Svanstedt. They're around the 1st of September. First qualifier for the new outfit. Very good. Pretty decent start there as well. Not sure why I made the break in stride last out, but Oka's back at the bike here this afternoon and looked to be scoring down quite aggressively with the 7 Light Blue Movers.
And there's Yannick Gingras with number 5 Munster. You gave that one a little bit of love for in your 3rd slot of your picks there. They shipped this filly all the way out to Delaware for the Buckette, and she raced okay, but not great for the poor people who bet on her, I guess, sending her off at 5-2 with Hall of Famer Dave Pallone.
Yeah, just okay. I think you're absolutely right there. Now, she does have maybe a license to improve. She stretches back out of the big track. We haven't seen her out of big track in quite some time, since way back at Verdun, Dave, at early July. She adds Lasix here today as well, so perhaps that could step up Munster a bit. She is getting a solid support up there right now as a second choice.
And lastly, we're seeking Joe Bongiorno here, who won the first and last races of the day yesterday to kick off the Grand Circuit meet. He's 5-1 on the other Alanya filly here. The father, Patrick, sired Confidante. She recently added Lasix too.
You know, she could not have possibly been any more impressive here. David, that last start. And keep in mind, this filly just 2 starts all season, so Confidant, in my mind, a big upside potential, lots of room for improvement. Again, she was supposed to win. It was not that tough of a group she was in against last time. She was 30 cents on the dollar, but she visually was very, very impressive. I thought she would come back at a much shorter price here today, but 5-1 seems like a very good number on Confidant.
It does. I'd certainly want to include that nice filly on our ticket. So, 7 trotters getting ready to kick off the Saturday afternoon action. Day 2 of the Grand Circuit here at the Red Mile. Number 4, Ava Catherine, still the favorite, but will she stay trotting?
The Dream Foundation starting gate moving into position. It's post time for the Saturday opener. Starter calls. First race, the My MVP, Forberg, Kentucky Futurity champion, sire of an Ohio Sire Stakes champion in Perone. This year, sponsored by Alanya Racing to kick off the Saturday action. A field of 7, they are on gain. And they are off. Munster come out swinging from the center of the track. Confidant left out alertly next door. Ava Catherine is also on the move as they trot towards that opening turn. It's Munster and Jingra who are up to grab the track early. Confidant continues to press on there on the outside. Ava Catherine way comfortably at this point at the inside for Miller. Fortune Telling Lady is back in fourth. Light Blue Movers is already out and underway from the fifth spot. Billy Claire's back sixth in front of Year of the Bride. They trot through an opening pattern, 28-1. Confidant was up to take over the lead, but it's Light Blue Movers who continues up on the outside. Sponstead and Light Blue Movers up to grab the track now from Confidant. And as they continue to shuffle the deck on the backstretch, Munster already back out and rolling for Jingra. As Ava Catherine watches all that action from fourth. She's currently 5 lengths off the lead. Fortune Telling Lady tracks the inside fifth in front of Billy Claire, and Year of the Bride is off stride. They trot through an opening half, 56-2, 28-1 in the second quarter. Yet another new leader. It's Munster who has taken over. So Munster shoulders a load onto the far turn. Light Blue Movers just off the pacemaker second. Ava Catherine launches up on the outside now for Miller. Confidant's been shuffled back to a fourth. Fortune Telling Lady tracks tightly in the fifth spot in front of Billy Claire, and still far back to Year of the Bride as they trot to the top of the stretch. Munster maintaining that inside advantage past three quarters, 125. Ava Catherine is up to apply heavy pressure down the outside, so the two favorites will drop the gloves. Light Blue Movers hanging in from third, with Confidant tracking in fourth. Mid-stretch, Munster still maintaining a 2-length lead as Ava Catherine's rough-gated, and now she's off stride. So it is Munster who is drawn 3 lengths clear. Light Blue Movers second, Confidant third, Munster in the opener. Light Blue Movers was second, Confidant third, Fortune Telling Lady fourth at 153. Judges have posted the 5 Munster unofficially first. Second of the 7 Light Blue Movers. Third of the 6 Confidant. The 2 Fortune Telling Lady fourth, 5-7-6-2 unofficially race 1. Turning trackside for the Diamond Creek Farm Winners presentation. This is Munster. Per Ingblom, the trader, Yadik Jingra. More for the winning effort this afternoon. Munster, a 3-year-old daughter, Chapter 7, from the Vereen mare, Richesse Oblige. Bred by Blue Chip Bloodstock, Burns and Kiefer, all of New York. Munster is owned by Black Horse Racing. Lebanon, New Jersey, the Wiseman Farms, York, Pennsylvania. It is her first win of the season, the second overall. Munster scores here at a career best 153. Prices up at the opener was the second choice Munster to kick it off, 520, 320, and 280. Second of the 7 light blue movers, 420, 680. Third of the 6 Confidant, 480. The exacta was $37.20. The $1 trifecta, $61.80. 20-cent superfecta, $35.56. Official rundown in for the first race. Billy Clare 5th. Number 2, Fortune Teller 94th. 3 Year of the Bride 7th. 4 Ava Catherine was 6th. 5 Munster the race winner. 6 Confidant 3rd. Number 7 Light Blue Movers 2nd. Rechecking top down 547 613. 2 on the bottom. Munster 153. Second race up next. It is the first of 4 divisions of the Norman Woolworth Memorial Bluegrass Series for the 2-year-old trotting fillies. Kicks off the 50-cent pick 5. No changes in the upcoming second race. No changes in the pick 5 sequence. Post time for race 2 is in 9 minutes. Champion, sire of an Ohio Sire Stakes champion in Perone. This year, sponsored by Alanya Racing to kick off the Saturday action. A field of 7. They are on gain. And they are off. Munster come out swinging from the center of the track. Confidant left out alertly next door. Ava Catherine is also on the move as they trot towards that opening turn. It's Munster and Jingra who are up to grab the track early. Confidant continues to press on there on the outside. Ava Catherine way comfortably at this point at the inside for Miller. Fortune Teller Lady is back in 4th. Light Blue Movers is already out and underway from the 5th spot. Billy Clare's back 6th in front of Year of the Bride. They trot through an opening pattern, 28-1. Confidant was up to take over the lead, but it's Light Blue Movers who continues up on the outside. Sponstead and Light Blue Movers up to grab the track now from Confidant as they continue to shuffle the deck on the backstretch. Munster already back out and rolling for Jingra as Ava Catherine watches all that action from 4th. She's currently 5 lengths off the lead. Fortune Teller Lady tracks the inside 5th in front of Billy Clare, and Year of the Bride is off stride. They trot through an opening half, 56-2, 28-1 in the second quarter. Yet another new leader. It's Munster who has taken over. So Munster shoulders a load onto the far turn. Light Blue Movers just off the pacemaker second. Ava Catherine launches up on the outside now for Miller. Confidant's been shuffled back to 4th. Fortune Teller Lady tracks tightly in the 5th spot in front of Billy Clare, and still far back to Year of the Bride as they trot to the top of the stretch. Munster maintaining that inside advantage past 3 quarters, 125. Ava Catherine is up to apply heavy pressure down the outside, so the 2 favorites will drop the gloves. Light Blue Movers hanging in from 3rd with Confidant tracking in 4th. Mid-stretch, Munster still maintaining a 2-length lead as Ava Catherine's rough-gated, and now she's off stride. So it is Munster who is drawn 3 lengths clear. Light Blue Movers 2nd, Confidant 3rd, Munster in the opener.
By French superstar stallion Love You, out of the greatest trotting mare of all time, Moneymaker. International Money bred foal books in both of his initial seasons. His foals are uniformly good size with good length, good bone, and conformation. It's very easy to see the much sought-after European influence of Love You in these foals. Follow up on these impressive crops with a booking to the ultimate Euro-American stallion International Money, standing at Hanover Shoe Farms.
Harris Hoosier Park invites you to an exclusive opportunity to bid on a 2021 breeding of the top 6 stallions in harness racing as part of the Breeders' Crown Charity Challenge. The breedings will be auctioned off at the 2020 Lexington Select Yearling Sale on October 6th at 6:45 p.m. at the Fannsick Tipton Sales Pavilion. All proceeds of the Breeders' Crown Charity Challenge will be donated to charity. Join us in person or bid online at www.lexingtonselected.com.
When you need supplies for your horse, one name stands out: Big D's. Since 1974, Big D's Tack and Vet Supply has been the equine experts you can trust. Whatever your horse needs is available at Big D's Tack and Vet Supply. Visit the retail outlet in Streetsboro, Ohio, or order online at bigdweb.com. Most orders shipped that day, or call 1-800-321-2142. Big D's Tack and Vet Supply.
Two-year-old trotting filly stepping on the track for the first of 4 divisions of the Norman Woolworth Memorial Bluegrass Series. Purse of $87,000, sponsored by the Arden Homestead Stable. Gary. Margaret Waltis Clyburg, Stoner Batter, Ben Eber Stuteri, AB, Organ Yair Jr., LST Stables in Lawrence, Nevada. The What is Rose Run Whitney, Ron Burke trains for the Burke Racing Stable. Bill Donovan, Jerry and Teresa Silva, Pernell Libby and Joe Spracco, Matt Cacanti. Number 2 is Adirondack. Pierre Ingblom trains Dexter Dudd at the bank for Diamond Creek Racing. 3, You Auto Dream. Jeff Gregory, the trader, driver, and co-owner, with Bill Richardson, George Robidoff, Martin Gary. The 4 is Lady Chaos. Linda Toscato trains. Dave Miller in the bank for Richard Guttig. Thomas Pontone, Joseph Lozito Jr. in the Enviro Stables. 5, Ineffable. Marcus Melander trains for Ben Heber Stuteri in the SRF stable with Brian Sears. Number 6 is Chablis. Jonas Sirdison trains for the Constance Racing Stable, Todd McCarthy. And the 7 is Presto. Oka Svanstedt, the trader driver for Brixton Medical. That's the field for the second race. Kicks off your 50-cent Pick 5. No changes in the Pick 5 sequence. Beginning right here in race 2.
Up next, the first of our 7 bluegrass divisions here. The 2-year-old trotting fillies in the spotlight here. And Gabe, before we get to that, we always want to say a special thank you to our many sponsors here at the Red Mile. Got to meet Matt Franklin of Wire to Wire Wealth Management out on the deck this morning. So happy to meet Frank and check out his information as well. And please, folks, don't forget to support the Breedings for a Cause, the Breeders' Crown Charity Challenge that will be part of the program at the Fasig-Tipton Sales Grounds on Tuesday evening. They're going to auction off some incredible stallion shares that you just can't get your hands on. So make sure you check that out in the catalog, and we look forward to everybody's participation with that. So, Gabe, 2-year-old trotting fillies. Last year, both divisions of this Bluegrass Series were captured by trainer Carter Pinsky, one with Marlowe Hanover, Annabelle Hanover here. Well, those are Pacers, excuse me. Lady Chaos here, the one to beat here. I wanted to make sure I saw her out on the track, and I'm very happy with what I see right now. She's the current 2-to-1 second choice, and she looks very, very comfortable.
Looks very comfortable. I'm glad you brought that up, Dave, because I thought she looked extremely sharp at the post parade and scoring down. I don't think she could possibly look any better on the track. And I think that's always important to note. You and I talk about it a lot, but we did take a look at the filly there in the first race, Ava Catherine, who we originally liked. Unfortunately, she jumped it off there after struggling a bit in the warm-ups as well. So I think the reverse is true here. Lady Chaos could not possibly look any better out there scoring down fresh off her Kentucky Sire Stakes Championship victory.
And she goes to the gate for Hall of Fame trainer Linda Toscano off that big upset win. I want to correct myself because we've got the trotting fillies here. Last year, Love a Good Story for Team Orange Crush, Andy and Julie Miller, the fastest performer, 152-2. But the other divisions were taken by Ramona Hill, Shishito, and Common Sense. Looking up at the board right now, lots of support here for Jeff Gregory's filly by Donato Hanover, You Ato Dream. Is that how you said that?
You Auto Dream.
You Auto Dream.
You Auto Dream.
All right, right through the circuit there in Pennsylvania. She got beat a dirty neck, I guess is the best way to say it, in the Pennsylvania Sire Stakes Championship. I am anxious to see what she will do out on the big track today.
And she was a runner-up there, Dave, and behind a filly that I know you're really high on a bit later today in the 5th race, Flawless Country. So I don't think any shame in coming up short there. She really hooked up with Flawless Country as many times in that Pennsylvania Sire Stakes circuit this summer. Obviously, a filly with a lot of talent, just that lone win, that was last time out as your even money favorite, but we know she does pack plenty of speed, over 176,000 already in her career. I think this is a filly that's going to be forwardly placed. It does not seem like the two fillies on the inside are going to get away from the gate all that well, at least in my mind. So I think You Auto Dream will sweep around and look for a good trip here this afternoon.
9-1 right now on number 5, Ineffable, for the always strong team of driver Brian Sears, trainer Marcus Melander. And she had a nice, easy cruise finish with a perfect trip in her division of the Kindergarten Classic. This is a perfect transition for her. She raced well in the summer, too.
It is, and I like the fact that she started her career there in the summer. She took a little time off to freshen up. As you mentioned, she fired off the shelf there with a nice effort. Packs a big pedigree here, Dave. Daughter of Cantab Hall. She was a $600,000 yearling purchase last fall, so this is a filly that does have a lot of upside. We'll see how Ineffable does today, just her 6th career start.
And in the realm of usable live long shots, the post won't be easy, but number 7, Presto, goes out for trainer and driver Oka Svanstedt. He took a division of this last year, and Presto comes out of one mad scramble finish in that Kindergarten Classic Series. It was eventually a tie between Anoka Hanover and Instaglam. She got beat a nose, Presto, and Instaglam after that ended up in the Mohawk Million.
Yes, she did. I thought that was a very wild finish there. Again, as you mentioned, just came up in the wrong end there of a tight finish. But we see the barn pull off many upsets here over the course of Grand Circuit action, so wouldn't surprise me to see her step up a bit. Also would have mentioned the filly on the monitor right there, Dave. That is Adirondack. This is a filly, I think, that's really yet to figure it out, maybe the best way to put it. Just her 4th career start, back to her bad habits there last time she made a break in stride. But this is a daughter of Father Patrick here from the world champion Mission Brief, still the world record holder at the age of 2 on the trot, 150-3. So this is a filly that packs a huge pedigree. I think she's better than she shows on paper. I think she's going to continue to improve. A little hot on the track, but when she gets it figured out, I think that she is going to be a nice filly in her own right.
I would love to see her do well today. We want to get these fashionable pedigrees here at the Red Mile. Dexter Dunn, of course, will be wearing the colors of the Diamond Creek Farm. That's Adam Bowden, who was here with us yesterday and probably is today. We'll see if Adirondack can get a piece of it at that huge price, 45 to 1 now. Trotting fillies getting ready to go to the gate, the first of our 7 Bluegrass divisions. We will talk to the winning connections after the race.
Make this your last chance to wager on the 50-cent pick 5. The Dream Foundation starting gate is moving into position. It's post time for race 2. Starter calls. Freshman trotting fillies lined up at the first of 4 divisions of the Norman Woolworth Memorial Bluegrass Series. Purse of $87,000 to kick off the 50-cent pick 5. A field of 7. They are on game. And they are off and trotting. Adirondack was out alertly towards the inside. Centered the track at Effable on the move. And from the far outside, Presto fired up. As the fillies square off into the opening turn, it's Presto and Sponstead who move right to the top. Ineffable is out trotting in the second spot. You Auto Dream will come away in third. Lady Chaos dives into the 4th spot in front of Adirondack. She's still comfortable 5th in front of Rose Run Whitney. And at the back, that is Chablis. They battle through a quick opening quarter here, 27-3. And Gregory Aggressive with You Auto Dream, the Pennsylvania Invader. You Auto Dream here, the second choice at 9-5. Takes over the lead from Presto. She released, and she's now tracking in the loose pocket spot second. Ineffable is there in third. She's 4 lengths off the top. Nothing yet from the 3-5 favorite, Lady Chaos. She is still content to attract the top trio 4th. Adirondack still smooth in 5th in front of Rose Run Whitney. And at the back, that is Chablis. Straight line but past a half, 54-4. Stiff tempo here, 27-1 in the second stanza. You Auto Dream maintains a 4-length margin from Presto with 3/8 to go. Ineffable is there in third. Lady Chaos looks to begin to angle wide at the 4th spot. As Adirondack is still saving ground in 5th. Rose Run Whitney To the outside in 6. Chablis still at the back. They trot at the top of the stretch. You Auto Dream by 3/4, 1:23 and 4. So You Auto Dream continues to front the field, turning for home. Presto, the fresh threat, up and out of the pocket there from second, and Effable is there in third. Far outside, Rose Run Whitney begins to rally at a big price. They move into mid-stretch. You Auto Dream still a short lead. Presto looking to power past. Rose Run Whitney's up at the far outside. Presto or You Auto Dream. Presto or You Auto Dream down to the finish. It is tight. Look like Presto on the outside over You Auto Dream. And a tight photo. Rose Run Whitney third. Chablis fourth. 153. In the photograph, it was, in fact, number 7, Presto, up to win it over the 3, You Auto Dream. Rose Run Whitney third. Number 6, Chablis was fourth. Second race results are official. Turning track side for the Diamond Creek Farm. Waters presentation. This is Presto. Okas Fonstedt, the trader and driver for Brixton Medical of New Jersey. Presto, a Lexington Select Yearling graduate from last fall. She's got a full sister, the upcoming Lexington Select Yearling sale. Next week, Presto, a 2-year-old brown filly. She's by Trixton from the Dream Vacation mare, Susie's Magic. Bred by William Jones and Steve Stewart right here in Kentucky. 3 of 5 to begin her career. Career best clocking this afternoon for Presto, 153. Greeting the Winning Connections trackside to make the trophy presentation. That is Kathy Parker, the secretary on the board of the Harness Racing Museum and Hall of Fame. Presents the trophy to the Winning Connections of Presto. Price is up for the second race. Presto returns $22.60, $7.80, and $6.40. Second to the 3 You Auto Dream, $4, $3.40. Third to the 1 Rose Run Whitney, $7. The exacta was $61 even. $1 trifecta, $305.80. Early double for a deuce worth $137. 20-cent superfecta 7316 returns $539.36. Official rundowns in for the second race. 1 Rose Run Whitney, third. Number 2 Adirondack, fifth. 3 U Auto Dream, second. 4 Lady Chaos, seventh. 5 Ineffable, sixth. Number 6 Chablis was fourth. 7 Presto, the race winner. Rechecking 352. 764 with 1 on the bottom. Presto 153. And to learn a little more about Presto, we'll sit it downstairs trackside. Dave Brower standing by with the credit driver, Oka Svanstedt.
Thank you very much, Gabe Pruitt. For the second year in a row, Oka Svanstedt has captured a division of the Bluegrass for the 2-year-old trotting fillies. Last year it was Common Sense. This year it's Presto. Now, you've taken your time with this filly, and you gave her a little bit of time off after that Garden State Stakes. Did she need that time off, or you were just waiting to start her here?
Yeah, the both, I think. She need a break, and then she need a race, and she raced at Meadowlands for a week ago, and yeah, she was good today.
Well, yeah, and she was also good back in that leg of the Sire Stakes in July when you won at odds of almost 40-1. This could be a special filly for you, too.
Yeah, she is good. So far, she doing good every time.
Now, we got to do this yesterday with a real nice colt named Delayed Hanover. Today, it's the filly Presto. But she was giving you a little trouble there after the winner's circle. Does she have a mind of her own?
Yeah, she have, and it's only in the race she's nice to drive. She's a puller when we train her at home, and yeah, but she's a real racehorse. She's nice to drive in the race.
Well, you had a real good game plan there. You fired her right out of the gate. You ended up with a perfect trip after that.
Yes, and she was good also. Yeah. She leave fast and come home good.
All right, last question. It looked like it was a real dogfight down the stretch with Jeff Gregory and you, Otto Dream. Were you confident, or were you all out?
She passed him with the head and hold that into the wire.
All right, so she definitely wanted it a little bit more today.
I don't know, but she win.
She did win. You had a tight one yesterday and then a tight one today. Presto captures our first stakes event, the division of the Bluegrass for the 2-year-old trotting fillies. Thanks very much, Oka.
Thank you.
Into the fourth spot in front of Adirondack. She's still comfortable fifth in front of Rose Run Whitney. And at the back, that is Chablis. They battle through a quick opening quarter here, 27-3, and Gregory aggressive with U Auto Dream, the Pennsylvania Invader. U Auto Dream here, the second choice at 9-5, takes over the lead from Presto. She released, and she's now tracking in the loose pocket spot second. Ineffable is there in third. She's 4 lengths off the top. Nothing yet from the 3-5 favorite, Lady Chaos. She is still content to attract the top trio fourth. Adirondack still smooth in fifth in front of Rose Run Whitney, and at the back, that is Chablis. Straight line but past a half, 54-4. Stiff tempo here, 27-1 in the second stanza. U Auto Dream maintains a 4-length margin from Presto with 3/8 to go. Ineffable is there in third. Lady Chaos looks to begin to angle wide at the fourth spot, as Adirondack is still saving ground in fifth. Rose Run Whitney to the outside in sixth. Chablis still at the back. They trot at the top of the stretch. U Auto Dream by 3/4, 1:23-4. So U Auto Dream continues to front the field, turning for home. Presto, the fresh threat, up and out of the pocket there from second, and Ineffable is there in third. Far outside, Rose Run Whitney begins to rally at a big price. They move into mid-stretch. U Auto Dream still a short lead. Presto looking to power past. Rose Run Whitney's up at the far outside. Presto or U Auto Dream. Presto or U Auto Dream down to the finish. It is tight. Look like Presto on the outside.
Stay Hungry, one of the most impeccably bred pacing stallions standing at stud. Stay Hungry is a son of the legendary Some Beach Somewhere out of world champion double millionaire My Little Dragon. Stay Hungry bred full books of exceptional mares in his first 2 seasons at stud. His foals are uniformly correct, attractive, and athletic, just like him. At an ultra-reasonable stud fee of $6,000, there is no better value in the pacing stallion ranks than Stay Hungry, standing at Hanover Shoe Farms.
Hickory Lane Horse Farm is the proud home of some of the Buckeye State's most popular stallions, like Dan Patch Champion, What the Hill, Breeders' Crown winner, Racing Hill, World Champion Trotter, Uncle Peter, and our recently retired elder statesman, McArdle. Be sure to visit our website, hickorylanefarm.com.
Two-year-old Colton Gelding Pacers on the track for the first of 3 divisions of the Stay Hungry Bluegrass Series, purse over $119,000. Stay Hungry. First crop will be selling in 2021. He is by a world champion, Some Beach Somewhere, from the world champion mare, My Little Dragon. Stay Hungry stands at the Hanover Shoe Farms of Pennsylvania. No changes in the third race. Gets set to kick off the early pick 3. The one is Lose Pearl Man. Ron Burke trains for the Burke Racing Stable. Weaver Bruschebi, Elizabeth Novak, and Howard Taylor. Matt Kickaley drives. Number 2 is Rifle Band. Chris Ryder trains. Eddie McCarthy up for Robert Bondillo and Craig Henderson. 3, 1-800. Nancy Tactor trains, and she co-owns for Brixton Medical. Dexter Dunn. 4 is Beach Party. Brett Pelling trains for Dave McDuffie, John Fielding, and Clay Horder. Scott Zeron drives. Number 5 is Little Lad Hanover. Ron Burke trains the Burke Racing Stable. Jerry and Teresa Silva. Purnell Libby. Weaver Bruschebi, the Wingfield 5. Dave Miller. Number 6, Folsom. Ron Burke trains for Bill Donovan. Thomas Dillon. Purnell Libby. Joe Spracco. Yannick Gingras in the bank. 7 is Commanding Officer. Tony Alanya trains for the Brittany Farms. Brad Grant, Alanya Racing. Riverview Racing and Steve Head, Joe Bongiorno. At the 8 is Captain's Place. John Ackley trains for the CT Stables. Tyler Smith in the sulky. That's the field for the third race. Kicks off the early pick 3. No changes in the pick 3, covering races 3, 4, and 5.
We switch over to the freshman pacing colts and geldings here for the third race this Saturday afternoon at the Red Mile here. 3 divisions for the powerful freshmen. Last year's star performer, of course, Elver Hanover, with that 148-3 win for the Burke Brigade. They also captured a division with Cattle Wash. Captain Barbosa, the other winner, the recent winner of the Little Brown Jug, and Roll with JR for the Colorford Crew. Definitely gave one of the more interesting races to try and handicap. You and I both on different horses on top, and that didn't surprise me. A lot of different ways you can go. You went for Luz Pearlman, and I don't blame you. Got to see him up on Jug Day last week. He was a very good second, and I think he'll be even better on the big track today.
Yeah, I actually like him quite a bit here at this spot, Dave. I think just the company he has been keeping, he has proven himself to be a top-shelf stakes commodity. He's been tackling those very tough colts on the Pennsylvania Sire Stakes circuit. Southwind Gendry, Chase H. Hanover, Bunker Hanover, just all those good top colts. He's 4 for 8 in his career, over $131,000. Actually began his career 4 for 4. So the first 4 defeats have been those the most recent tries, but against a very tough company. Again, I thought that start at Delaware, very good at the standard bred as well. So Luz Pearlman, I think just a bit further along than most of these colts at this spot here today. I'm going to give him the edge here, one of a few for the Burke Brigade. Matt Kakaley gets a call there on the inside. One Luz Pearlman. I would hope, Dave, that 3-1 would hold. That's a very good price in my opinion.
Boy, this is such a wide open betting board. The fans are going to have to make their choices soon. There's my pick. That's number 3, 1-800. Dexter Dunn's choice in here for trainer Nancy Tactor here. The $800,000 yearling, so that's where the name comes from, by some beach somewhere out of that great pacing mare Economy Terror. Nancy ran into a little bit of a problem with him. She said he scoped sick after his flat effort in that non-winners of 2 earlier last month, but then he bounced back with another good effort. Just barely tagged by commanding officer, so they're going to renew their rivalry today. Right now, he's up there at 6-1, and Gabe, you and I both know he shouldn't be 6-1.
No, that's a good price as well. As you said, the money just so spread out here. My top selection actually just took a plunge, but that is going to inflate the price of several others. 1-800, Dave, commanding officer, the 7 in here, just snuck up the inside that night there at the Meadowlands in the kindergarten just to nail him late. That was an improved effort, and particularly when you take into consideration he had been battling some sickness prior.
Yep, Nancy, the co-owner with Brixton Medical of Matawan, New Jersey. Speaking of very, very good pedigrees, that'd be the case for another long shot in here, the 4 Beach Party. Jim Averett's, I guess we could call Precocious Beauty his foundation mare?
Yes, we could. I believe Precocious Beauty, well, Precious Beauty, of course, the day of a sports rider, and Precocious Beauty. So he's got a string of firepower down there in Lebanon, just about 45 minutes away from Lexington here. So another great Jim Averett bred colt here, Beach Party. $190,000 yearling. He took on some pretty good colts here locally, Dave, in that Kentucky Commonwealth Series. Couldn't quite seal the deal, but he finished close there. I've got him in consideration for minor share again today.
Lots of money for Littoral Lad Hanover out of post 5 here. Dave Miller will inherit the assignment with Matt Kakaley choosing the stablemate number 1, Luz Pearlman. Now, you saw that elevation race up at Hoosier last time, just way too far back on this colt.
Deceptively good, though, Dave. He was far, far back and really cut into that margin. He had some nice, sneaky late pace, as you would say there. And he's a dedicated closer, Dave. So we know typically the Red Mile plays about as fair as any track in North America, as far as I'm concerned. When you're talking about a horse that likes to come from off the pace, he draws a perfect post to do just that. Yes, the knock would be Matt Kakaley did opt to the inside and 1 Luz Pearlman, but I would not overlook this colt as well. He's got plenty of talent. I think his racing style really going to suit the track here this afternoon.
And he finally gets away from Southwind Gendry. That's also a Burke Brigade stablemate. Speaking of running into killers, that'd be the case of number 6, Folsom. He's lost 5 straight to the unbeaten Perfect String, but he didn't really disappoint that much.
No, he's been okay, and you can't hold those losses against him. Perfect Sting has just been so sensational here at the Kentucky Sire Stakes action. He's been even, so he does dodge that rival today, but still plenty of tough company in here for Folsom. I would think he would have to step things up a bit to contend for one of the top spots.
And lastly, number 7, Commanding Officer, who took a lot of early betting action. Keep in mind the Alanya Armada did win one of these divisions last year with Captain Barbosa. That might have been his first win until the jug last week. But Commanding Officer, like you said, he was lucky to sneak up the inside in that Kindergarten Classic division. But then he made it look easy on the front end in the follow-up.
He did. I thought it was a little bit of a softer crew, though, that night. He was 40 cents on the dollar and just took over the lead. Really had things his own way. He does step back up today. This is a giant step back up for Commanding Officer, but you have to like those confidence boosters back up at the Big M. You have to give him a look here today as well.
And lastly, we got to give a little love to the Catch the Fire team. That's trainer John Ackley and the CT Stables. Captain's place, decent third in the Sire Stakes final, but a tough post here today for Tyler.
He does have a tough post, but he did pick up some nice money in that Kentucky Sire Stakes final, Dave. Good third. Take a look at the pair that defeated him. Perfect Sting and Natives Falou, both very talented colts. So Captain's place, maybe a live long shot to toss underneath in the exotics here.
All right, real nice group of pacing colts here. We will see. Right now, the favorite, you've got him, Gabe, 6-5 on number 1, Luz Pearlman.
the Dream Foundation starting gate. Moving into position, it's post time for this afternoon's third race. Starter calls. Two-year-old Colton Gelding Pacers lined up for the first division of the Stay Hungry Bluegrass Series. Purse over $119,000, a field of 8. They are on gate. And they are off 1-800. Fired up early for Dexter Dunn. Literal Dad Hanover. Out quickly from the center of the track. Folsom also on the attack into the opening turn, as is commanding officer. The early skirmish continues. 1-800 is down at the inside there. Looks intent on the top for a Dunn. Folsom still floating wide there. He'll dive in second in front of Little Lad Hanover. Commanding officer forced to back off. He'll tuck in fourth in front of the Lose Pearlman, who's out followed begin fifth. Rifleman yet to move sixth in front of Beach Party. And at the back, that's Captain's Place. The opening quarter hot here, 26 seconds, 1-800 with a sizzler on the point as they sprint past the 3/8 mark. Folsom giving chase here with the hot early tempo. He is second. Literal Lad Hanover tracks from a third right now, 3.5 off the top. Commanding officer is fourth in front of the Lose Pearlman. The slight favorite there at 8-5 is fifth, still 10 lengths off the lead right now. Rifleman is yet to fire in front of Beach Party, and at the back still Captain's Place. The half 52-4, 26-4 in that second quarter. So 1-800 dialing up a quick tempo, and he maintains the lead midway around the far turn. Folsom continues to give chase from second. Commanding officer working up uncovered first over. Lose Pearlman is well spotted. The favorite is second over there and beating to look wide for Kakali. And the quick fractions have taken their toll on 1-800 as they're past three quarters. 1-21-3. Commanding officer turns for home with the short lead. Lose Pearlman looks to vault off covered out. It's Lose Pearlman who has edged into the lead. Commanding officer is driven out to try and stay on late. Literal Lad Hanover with late pace up at the far outside. Deep stretch. Lose Pearlman still there looking to fend off his stablemate Literal Lad Hanover. Lose Pearlman close to home. Lose Pearlman in 1:49.1, just 1/5 of a second off the world record. Literal Lad Hanover was second. Commanding officer held third. Judges have posted the one Lose Pearlman unofficial winner of this afternoon's third race. Second of the 5, Literal Lad Hanover. Third of the 7, Commanding Officer. Fourth of the number 8, Captain's Place. 1-5, 7-8. An official in the third, returning trackside now for the Diamond Creek Farm. Winner's presentation, it is Luz Pearlman. Ron Burke, the treader. Matt Kikali aboard for the winning effort this afternoon for the Burke Racing Stable. Of Pennsylvania, Weaver Brushebe of Pennsylvania. Elizabeth Novak of Boca Raton. Howard Taylor, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Luz Pearlman, a 2-year-old bay colt. He's by Sweet Lou, who is the world record holder, 149. He's just 1/5 of a second off his sire's world record this afternoon. Luz Pearlman from the well-set mare Lucy's of Pearl. Bred by the Burke Racing Stable and Weaver Brushebe, along with Elizabeth Novak. 5 for 9 to begin his career, 149-1. Again, 1/5 of a second off the world record. The first division of the Stay Hungry Bluegrass Series for Luz Pearlman. Our director of sponsorship, Cynthia Salverson, trackside, to present the trophy to the Winning Connections on behalf of the Stay Hungry Syndicate and the Hanover Shoe Farms. Third race results are official. And before we get the prices, we'll go ahead and sit it downstairs. Dave Brower standing by with winning driver Matt Kikali.
Thank you very much, Gabe. We are in the Diamond Creek Farm winner circle, and we've got winning driver Matt Kikali with us here. 1/5 off the world record here. Luz Pearlman gets it done from the inside. But, Matty, I asked you when you came over and grabbed the microphone, that trip couldn't possibly have worked out any better.
No, absolutely. That was a dream trip for sure.
Now, last week at the Jug, Luz Pearlman, he raced good, but I just got the feeling that he wasn't as good on the half-mile track as he would be on the big strip.
You know, actually, it wasn't really. It wasn't the track at all. He was just a little revved up, a little fired up, and you know, I was following Chase H. Hanover, and Ronnie was backing into me pretty good, and there was a horse coming, and you know, Delaware, no passing lane. I didn't want to get trapped in there, so I moved him over, and I mean, he raced good. That was just a great mile that other one put in.
You've been the regular driver for this guy on the Pennsylvania circuit. He raced his eyeballs out right through that whole series, but they were some tough colts he was facing.
Yeah, absolutely, and he had a little sickness there, and he won his first 5 races, I think, and he was we thought he was something special right away, and he got a little sick, had a little problem here and there, and he didn't finish out the PA Sires the way we hoped, but he's bounced back, and Ronnie's done a good job getting him back the way he was in the beginning of the year.
You get a lot of assignments for the Burke Brigade here. Now, you had to make a choice in this particular one. You were also listed on Littoral Lad Hanover. Who ends up making that choice? Does Ronnie tell you which one to drive, or do you tell him?
He usually lets me do whatever I want to do in that situation, but that horse, we feel Luz Pearlman has a better colt right now anyway. And, I really like that other one, though. He's a nice colt, too, and he raced great again today. He been racing good.
1-2 finish for the Burke Brigade. Yeah. A son of Sweet Lou, and I know that's an important fact for the Burke Brigade. You've driven an awful lot of them. How do you think he's doing so far as a sire?
I'd say good. He was a great horse, so, he's going to throw good ones.
All right, Matt, thanks very much. Congratulations. You worked out a perfect trip and drive on Luz Pearlman. 149-1, our first wow mile of the day, 1/5 off the world record.
Great job, guys, and we'll catch up with the prices down. Luz Pearlman, the slight favorite, $520, $260, and $220. Second of the 5, Littoral Lad Hanover, $320 and $240. Third of the 7, Commanding Officer, $280. Exact was $15.20, $1 trifecta, $22 and a dime. 20-cent superfecta, $35.58. Official rundowns in for the third race. 1, Luz Pearlman, the winner. Number 2, Rifleman, 5th. 3, 1-800, 8th. 4, Beach Party, 7th. 5, Littoral Lad Hanover, 2nd. Number 6, Folsom, 6th. 7, Commanding Officer, 3rd. The 8, Captain's Place, 4th. Rechecking, 158. 7, 2, 6, 3, and 4 on the bottom. Luz Pearlman, just 1/5 off the world record, 149-1. Fourth race is up next. The Archangel, sponsored by the Woodbine Entertainment Group. Field of 8, no changes in your upcoming fourth race. It's in 9 minutes. Lined up for the first division of the Stay Hungry Bluegrass Series. Purse over $119,000, a field of 8. They are on game. And they are off 1-800. Fired up early for Dexter Dunn, Littoral Lad Hanover. Out quickly from the center of the track. Folsom also on the attack into the opening turn, as is Commanding Officer. The early skirmish continues. 1-800 is down at the inside there. Looks intent on the top for Dunn. Folsom Still floating wide there. He'll dive in second in front of Little Lad Hanover. Commanding Officer forced to back off. He'll tuck in fourth in front of the Lose Pearlman, who's out foul to begin fifth. Rifleman yet to move sixth in front of Beach Party. And at the back, that's Captain's Place. The opening quarter hot here, 26 seconds, 1-800 with a sizzler on the point as they sprint past the 3/8 mark. Folsom giving chase here with the hot early tempo. He is second. Little Lad Hanover tracks from a third, right now 3.5 off the top. Commanding Officer is fourth in front of the Lose Pearlman. The slight favorite there at 8-5 is fifth, still 10 lengths off the lead right now. Rifleman is yet to fire in front of Beach Party, and at the back still Captain's Place. The half 52-4, 26-4 in that second quarter. So 1-800 dialing up a quick tempo, and he maintains the lead midway around the far turn. Folsom continues to give chase from second. Commanding Officer working up uncovered first over Lose Pearlman. Is well spotted. The favorite is second over there and beating to look wide for Kakele. And the quick fractions have taken their toll on 1-800 as they're past three quarters. 1-21-3. Commanding Officer turns for home with the short lead. Lose Pearlman looks to vault off covered out. It's Lose Pearlman who has edged into the lead. Commanding Officer is driven out to try and stay on late. Little Lad Hanover with late pace up at the far outside. Deep stretch. Lose Pearlman still there looking to fend off his stablemate Little Lad Hanover. Lose Pearlman close to home. Lose Pearlman in 149-1. Just 1/5.
South Wind Farms is the premier breeding facility in New Jersey and is home to top trotting sire Muscle Hill. South Wind also stands the world champion Walner and 2018 Breeders' Crown champion Tactical Landing. Southwind also has a beautiful standardbred nursery in upstate New York, where the rolling hills provide an ideal setting for foals to grow up strong and healthy for the lucrative New York Sire Stakes program.
Bar hopping son of Muscle Hill is making serious waves with his first crop of 2022-year-olds. Over one half of his foals have raced as of July 15, and one half of those are winners, led by stakes winners In Range,
and it's In Range, in front,
and Pub Crawl.
It's Pub Crawl in one.
A majestic-looking son of the greatest trotting stallion ever, who has already proven his siring ability. Bar hopping is undoubtedly the next generation, standing at Hanover Shoe Farms.
To all our sports caretakers, this one's for you. It's the 2020 Caretaker Cup, sponsored by Leah Chevry and Art Subrod's Fair Island Farm of Versailles, Kentucky. These awards will be presented to the caretakers of the Red Mile Grand Circuit Stakes winners. But we thank all of you whose hard work and dedication brings out the best in our horses.
Diamond Creek Farm presents Sweet Lou, the Great White Blaze. With star power and charisma to spare, fans far and wide. Success at the highest levels, and that unique look that just says greatness.
Oh, Sweet Lou! How sweet it is! Sweet Lou rocks!
And Sweet Lou wins the TVG free-for-all final.
Sweet Lou, the Great White Blaze, now standing at Diamond Creek Farm.
Captain Treacherous, North America's dominant pacing stallion. Captain Fillies were 1, 2, 3 in the 2019 two-year-old Breeders' Crown,
Reflect with me, 150-3.
as well as the 2020 Mistletoe Chalet.
Reflect with me, then Lion Sentinel, then Rocknificent, 149.
The captain sired half of the 2020 Meadowlands pace starters, including Allywag Hanover,
Allywag Hanover again.
standing at Hanover Shoe Farms.
Trotters on the track for the Archangel. Archangel, earned of over $1.1 million. It is career, stands at the Winback Farm of Ontario. Sponsored by the Woodbine Entertainment Group. What is Julius C. Perry Engblom Trains, headed to McCarthy Drives for Brixton Medical, the Hatfield Stables, and Fair Island Farm. Number 2 is Like Nobody Else Oz. Philip Cotton Trains. Randy Gerald's in the bank for Ed Teefy. 3, Miss Artois. Charlie Norris Trains and Drives for Kerry Norris and G&B Racing. The 4 is Party Shoes. Carol Weber owns and trains. Mickey Pryor. 5 is Mastro. Tony Gabbana trains for the Holland Racing Stable with Andy Miller. 6, Timeless Tribute. Rodney DeBeck owns and trains. Christian Lindup. 7 is Candlebox. Jim Avert trains for In the Dark Racing LLC with Yadik Jingra. At the 8 is Uncle AJ C. Kevin Thomas, the trader. He co-owns with Martin Thompson and Randy Donahue. Dave Miller is at the controls. At your field for the 4th race. There are no changes. They will go to the post in just a few minutes for the 4th.
Race 4 up next this Saturday afternoon, and what a glorious afternoon it is here in Lexington, Kentucky here. An overnight race, Gabe. We're switch over to the trot here, basically a maiden event, non-winners of 1 or non-winners of 2. And we've got a good mix of fillies and colts. Thanks again for the sponsorship by the Woodbine Entertainment Group, Jessica Buckley and her team up there north. Unfortunately, they would normally be with us on any other year, and Archangel as well. If you are not able to be with us here on track and you would like to order a winner's circle picture, our new track photographer this year is Amanda Webb Stevens, so get in touch with her either through the switchboard or through her various social media. It's nice to have Amanda out there in the winner's circle on board. Gabe, you going for a filly or are you going for a colt?
Going for a filly here, Dave. Julius C. made a break in stride there in that Commonwealth final, but this filly has proven that she has plenty of talent. A daughter of the Kentucky Futurity champion, my MVP, Julius C. I look for her to get back on track here. I think if she fires anything close to her best, Dave, that she is clearly the one to beat, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I think if she trots, she wins. But that, anytime you see that X on the program in a big money final, it does make you a little bit worried here. I want to give a special shout out to the breeder and co-owner of the Fair Island Farm. That's Art Zubrod and his wife Leah. They're sponsoring the Caretakers Awards, which I think are new this year. That's an extra special thing because we all know how important the caretakers are in the life of these horses. Julia C., she's got speed. She looks good to me on the track. She certainly doesn't look too hot. That's what you are looking for there. A lot of money, at least early on the board, for Tony Alagna and Andy Miller here with Mastro. And I guess it's a matter of, do you believe that qualifier? Because it was pretty quick.
Yeah, it was okay there. I thought, he was okay in that qualifier. I didn't think it merited that type of attention here on the toe board. Again, Julia C., going back to her, I think, as you said, Dave, I think if she trots, she wins. So she's sort of an all-or-nothing play in my mind. So I think if you do want to play against her, you just toss her totally out. Because, again, I think the only way she's going to lose if she did make a break, it would push you towards a horse like Mastro, I suppose. It is his career debut. Not really sure what's up with him, though. He qualified back in July there at Woodbine at Mohawk Park. Scratched, went in to go for his career debut there 1st of August. And we haven't seen him since that local qualifier. So I'm just not sure I want to take a short price out of here. 2-1, he is poised today for his career debut. Not an overly difficult group, though, once you get past that favorite. So I suppose Mastro is a deserving second choice.
Tell me about number 4, Party Shoes, one of the other fillies in here. Carol Weber owns and trains and bred the filly by Yankee Glide here. A couple of good starts and then a couple of bad starts.
You said it, Dave. The last 2 breaks in stride. Just not sure what to do with her at this point. If you go all the way back to August 23rd, she was a good runner-up in behind What a Yankee. Again, that's the filly we saw win here yesterday in 53 and change. Party Shoes, that was a track that was well off, too. She was shuffled back there, just took all the worst of it on a track well off. Good runner-up there and behind a nice filly in What a Yankee. She followed it up with a couple of pretty solid starts as well. But the train has got off the tracks. 2 consecutive breaks in stride, so we'll see what we get from Party Shoes. If you are looking perhaps for a bit of a long shot to toss in, I think Party Shoes, if she keeps her mind on business, could make some noise here for a modest share.
What do we do with number 6? That's Timeless Tribute, trained and owned by Rodney DeBeck here. He's going to get Christian Lind to sit in the sulky seat. I do see one good start in that leg of the Kentucky Commonwealth.
Likes to visit and be close. He's hit the board nearly half of his starts, Dave. 9 of 19, just overmatched a bit of that Commonwealth Series. So I'm going to pretty much use up those same sort of spots just underneath for me. Again, winless in 19 tries, but just several underneath finishes.
We talked about trainer Kevin Thomas yesterday. He's got another bad post here with the 8 Uncle AJ, but he is able to employ the services of Hall of Famer Dave Little. I see a lot of recent speed, but I don't see much stamina.
Hall of Famer Dave Miller, in fact. Your Hall of Fame partner, Dave Little.
Dave Miller. That's the second time I've done that.
I actually heard the first as well. Shout out to our man, Dave Little. Hopefully he's out there listening today. But, yes, you do get Dave Miller on the bike here. This is a trotter that's shown a bit of ability as well, Dave. If you go back, he won that qualifier when he added trotting hobbles, just missed in the Commonwealth Series as a favorite. So we do know he has some ability, but similar story. He's got off the tracks a bit late, so he'll need a rebound effort this afternoon. Double digits if you back him, though, right now at 13-1.
All right, you warned me on the pregame show the price would be awfully short on the one Julia C, and you are correct, sir, because 2-5 is your price right now. Can you beat the filly for trainer Per Engblom, or will you try to hit the exacta?
The Dream Foundation starting 8 has moved into position. It's post time for this afternoon's 4th race. The Archangel. Multiple stakes winner. Took a mark 150, earned over $1.1 million. Stands at the Winback Farm of Ontario. Starter calls. Trotters lined up for this afternoon's 4th race. The Archangel, sponsored by Woodbine Entertainment Group. Field of 8, they are on game. And they are off. Candlebox off stride at the beginning. Mastro at his career debut goes sprinting out from the center of the track, far outside Uncle AJ. He's looking to mix it up on that opening turn as the big favorite Julia C is away in good order down at the inside in 3rd. Timeless Tribute will dive into the 4th spot in front of Like Nobody Else Oz. Miss Artois back in the 6th spot in front of Party Shoes. And it's far back to Candlebox after the break at the beginning. Mastro has made the top. Miller already tapping on the brakes here. The quarter very moderate, just 29-4. And that's going to send the big favorite Julia C out on the move for McCarthy. as they trot across the backstretch. Julia C is up and on the move, looking to loop past Mastro. Uncle AJ with the ringside seat to that battle. He continues in the third spot as Timeless Tribute tightens down the hatches fourth. It's a break of 3 lengths to like nobody else odds. It's 10 more back to Party Shoes. About 15 back to a Candlebox. At off-stride went Miss Artois as they trot past the half here in 58 seconds. 28 and 1 of the second quarter. A new leader. It's Julia C. looking to make good on a 1-5 promise. She carries that speed onto the far turn with 3/8 to go. Mastro at his career debut. He's sticking right with the favorite in second there for Miller. In front of Uncle AJ, who continues third. Timeless Tribute just 5 lengths off the lead from fourth. He'll swing to the outside now as they trot at the top of the stretch. Julia C. still the target by 3/4 in 1:27. The favorite Julia C. fronts the field turning for home. Mastro hanging right in from second. Uncle AJ is dead at the inside third with Timeless Tribute fourth. They move into mid-stretch. Julia C. looking to buckle down and fend off Mastro. Uncle AJ still third with Timeless Tribute fourth. Julia C. put to the test here. Mastro tries to slingshot pass late. Julia C. or Mastro, they battle down to the finish. Julia C. takes it to win from Mastro. Uncle AJ was third. Timeless Tribute and off stride fourth. 155 and 2. Judges have posted one Julia C. at officially first, second at the 5 Mastro. Third at the gate, Uncle AJ, 6 Timeless Tribute fourth. The subject of the judge's inquiry, possible violation of the braking rule in deep stretch. Hold all tickets, 6 Timeless Tribute, possible violation of the braking rule in deep stretch. Turning track side for the Diamond Creek Farm Letters presentation. This is Julia C. It's a double on the program for Treader Perry Ingblom. Andy McCarthy was aboard for the wedding effort. For Brixton Medical of New Jersey, the Hatfield Stables, Columbus, Ohio, the Fair Island Farm of Versailles. Julia C., 3-year-old daughter of my MVP from the Mr. Vic Mare. Summer Savory, bred by Art Zubrod and Leah Chevry's Fair Island Farm. Second of her career, the winning effort for Julia C., 155 and 2. That's a career best effort. Greeting the Winning Connections trackside, Joetta Ricky making the trophy presentation. Joetta, one of her interns here at the Red Mile. She's done marketing for our historical horse racing terminal. She has done an excellent job all meet long on the racing side here at the Red Mile, including all of the power and great action on the Red Mile Twitter account. So if you check that out, that's all Joetta. She studies equine science and management at the University of Kentucky, and she presents the trophy to the Winning Connections of Julia C. Inquiry continues here in the fourth race, 1586. Hold all tickets. Fans, your attention, please. We do have a disqualification in the fourth race. Number 6, Timeless Tribute, who finished 4th, has been disqualified and placed 5th. Number 2, Like Nobody Else Size, who finished 5th, has been placed 4th. 1582, the superfecta call in the 4th. Prices up for the fourth race. Julia C, 260, 210, and 210. Second at the 5, Mastro, 240, 220. Third at the 8, Uncle AJ, at 480. The Exacta was popular. $4 even. The $1 trifecta, $10.80. 20-cent superfecta, $12.22. Official rundowns for the fourth race. Julia C, the winner. Number 2, Like Nobody Else Size, finished 5th, placed 4th. 3, Miss Artois, 7th. 4, Party Shoes, 6th. 5, Mastro, 2nd. Number 6, Timeless Tribute, finished 4th, disqualified and placed 5th for violation of the braking rule. 7, Candlebox, 8th. 8, Uncle AJ, 3rd. Rechecking with the placing. 147, 625, 8 and 3 on the bottom. Fifth race up next. It is the second division of the Norman Woolworth Memorial for the 2-year-old trotting fillies. Purse of $87,000. No changes in your upcoming fifth race. It's in 9 minutes. And they are off. Candlebox off stride at the beginning. Mastro at his career debut goes sprinting out from the center of the track, far outside Uncle AJ. He's looking to mix it up on that opening turn as the big favorite Julia C is away in good order down at the inside in third. Timeless Tribute will dive into the fourth spot in front of Like Nobody Else Oz. Miss Artois back in the sixth spot in front of Party Shoes. And it's far back to Candlebox after the break at the beginning. Mastro has made the top. Miller already tapping on the brakes here. The quarter very moderate, but just 29 and 4. And that's going to send the big favorite Julia C out on the move for McCarthy. As they trot across the backstretch, Julia C is up and on the move, looking to loop past Mastro. Uncle AJ with the ringside seat to that battle. He continues in the third spot as Timeless Tribute tightens down the hatches fourth. It's a break of 3 lengths to Like Nobody Else Oz. It's 10 more back to Party Shoes. About 15 back to a Candlebox. At off stride went Miss Artois as they try to pass the half here in 58 seconds. 28 and 1 of the second quarter. A new leader. It's Julia C. Looking to make good on a 1-5 promise. She carries that speed onto the far turn with 3/8 to go. Mastro at his career debut. He's sticking right with the favorite in second there for Miller. In front of Uncle AJ, who continues third. Timeless Tribute just 5 lengths off the lead from fourth. He'll swing to the outside now as they trot at the top of the stretch. Julia C still the target by 3/4 in 127. The favorite Julia C fronts the field, turning for home. Mastro hanging right in from second. Uncle AJ is dead at the inside third with Timeless Tribute fourth. They move at the mid-stretch. Julia C looking to buckle down and fend off Mastro. Uncle AJ still third with Timeless Tribute fourth. Julia C put to the test here. Mastro tries to slingshot pass late. Julia C or from Mastro. They battle down to the finish. Julia C. Digs in to win from Mastro. Fans, we do have a late driver change being announced for the first time. I get a late driver change being announced for the first time. It's in the 7th race. Number 2, Fanciful Invention, the driver, Tim Tetrick. Driver change in the 7th race. Number 2, Fanciful Invention to Tim Tetrick.
Art Speak, the next generation of Western Ideal in Ontario. 2-year-old called Pacer of the Year in Canada and the United States. He's a multiple stakes winner, including the Governor's Cup, the Metro Pace, the Bluegrass Stakes, and the New Jersey Sire Stakes finals twice. He's a proven sire of PA Stakes winners from 2 crops of racing age. Art Speak's first Ontario crop sells in 2020. Look at the fall yearling sales for Art Speak Offspring. For more information, winbackfarm.com.
When it comes to yearlings, you can buy with confidence when you buy from Brittany Farms. The farm that bred and sold champions like Father Patrick, Manchego, and Better's Wish now offers buyers every pre-sale opportunity with both in-person and virtual online inspections. Videos that zoom in on every confirmation angle. Go take a look at BritFarms.com.
Greenshoe, extraordinarily talented son of Father Patrick out of world champion Designed to Be. Greenshoe bred the best book of mares ever assembled during his first season at Stud in 2020, including Ariana G, Cedar Dove, Hannelore Hanover, Mission Brief, The Ice Duchess, Pasithia Face, and To Dream On, as well as the dams of Propulsion, Emoticon Hanover, and Chapter 7. His yearlings will set the sales ring on fire in 2022, standing at Hanover Shoe Farms.
Alaraj Farms for more than 2 decades. Alaraj Farms has been a leading breeder of stakes-winning trotters with prestige settings in New York and Pennsylvania. Alaraj Farms is the home to champion broodmares producing millionaires like Fern, Muscles Marinara, Dewey Color in the Line, and Whiskey Tax. Stars like Barndall, Jezzy, An Opulent Yankee, and $480,000 sales topper Beautiful Sin. Yearlings offered at the sport's major auctions. Alaraj Farms, a trendsetter in modern trotting. For more info, log on to alarajfarm.com.